Good evening, good afternoon, good day, good Monday, all that stuff. So appreciate you guys joining me here tonight. Talk about those Carolina Panthers versus those Washington Redskins. So let me go ahead and formally introduce myself. My name is Chris Jenkins, credential media member of Charlotte Vibe, covering the Carolina Panthers. And tonight, I want to do my traditional day after thoughts as I talk about the game that happened the day before, the tragedy that happened before. And that would be the Carolina Panthers getting beat. Can't say pretty badly, but yeah, I'm going to say pretty badly by the Washington Redskins. So before I really get into it, we're going to talk about some things from Ron Rivera's press conference today, but I also want to talk about you guys subscribing and supporting Charlotte Vibe, which is important because I'm an independent media supported 100% by you guys. So trying to reach 4,100 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. If you already have, consider hitting that like button, as that is the easiest way to show some support. And also super chats, they're welcome. Comments below on other ways to donate. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So we're going to be live on YouTube as always and Twitter/Periscope as well. But I like to tell the people that are watching out on the Twitter/Periscope sphere that if you want to leave questions, a lot easier for me to see those questions on YouTube than it is on Twitter. If you just want to watch, listen, Twitter's good, but to get the best interaction, I'm going to say join me on YouTube. So let me say what's up to a few people that are signing on, as I like to do. Let's see, Altamore, very, very reliable person to sign on. Miguel Martinez, what's up? And Chandler, what's up? We got people watching from all over the place. What do you guys think? How you guys feeling? You guys feeling any good about this? Anyway, let me Trail 1, what's going on? So I got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. May actually have to do a second broadcast for some better news, but I think I'm pretty certain I'm going to make that a separate video because I don't want to mix up the two. So let's go ahead and get into it. So number one, a lot of people have talked about Ron Rivera's demeanor and press conferences and how he seems. And this is just my opinion from the press conference yesterday, which I was in, the press conference today as well. And I wanted to share this with you all to see what your thoughts are. I feel like Ron Rivera has accepted that he has a good chance of not being the Carolina Panthers head coach next season. Because if you look at his demeanor before, when he get tough questions about his future, about poor play, he would not like it. You could tell his demeanor would change and his tone would change, basically saying letting you know that he didn't like the questions. But yesterday, and even more so today, and I'm going to play some clips for you guys. And again, I want to know your opinion. It seems like not that he's given up, because to me, this what I give him credit for, and I'm not saying that he should continue to be coach, is that he takes gambles to try to get something out of it. It's like you're losing. He doesn't just go down without swinging. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get into some things that Rivera has talked about today. And yes, you guys, Nikki saying we've lost our mojo. Yeah, we have like that confidence. Let me tell you, the guys, is being in that locker room after the win in London over Tampa Bay. Them guys was just hype. They had music playing. James Bradbury had 2 interceptions. Somebody else had. They had a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger, a lot of just bravado, everything, and energy. And yesterday, you didn't see it all. Understandably so. I mean, you're losing. But anyway, let me go ahead, stay on the script, play some of these clips that I have for you today from Ron Rivera's press conference. And I want to hear you guys' comments about those things. So let's get into Ron Rivera talking about some things about what could have been done better yesterday and how to go about getting this stuff fixed. So let me go ahead and cue this up for you guys. Let's take a listen.
As opposed to the games that they were. That's disappointing, and especially as a defensive coach, you'd like to believe we do the games that they were. That's disappointing, and especially as a defensive coach, you'd like to believe we do better tacklers. On the offensive side, we missed a couple blocks. We had opportunities to make a block, and we didn't make it. We had an opportunity to make a call to change a block, and we didn't do that. We have to understand that we have to do our jobs, and as coaches, and like I always tell you guys, was there something we could have called different? There could have been, but we'll see. That's the hard part, is getting the consistency. And like I said, it'd be easy if because you can change that thing out, or it's one particular thing and you can change it out. The hard part is sometimes when some of those things do occur, you feel like you've got the right thing going, and then all of a sudden somebody pops a gap, somebody misses a tackle, or like I said, maybe I could have called something different, or we could have called something different. That's the hard part, because you do know it's there, you do know what the situation is, you know what the circumstances are, and it's been like that, unfortunately, too many times this year.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Didn't have the audio on, but we're back. So there you go. Ron Rivera talking about a few things about the game yesterday. And if you sum all that up, it's like he's saying there's a lot of things that went wrong. There were players and multiple players that did things wrong. And there were plays that he could have called differently to put this team in a better position. So if you just sum it all up, he's still saying that there's a lot of problems that are it's like the whole, I forget what the analogy, but you put your finger here, it starts leaking somewhere, you put your finger there, and it's just, so I think he was transparent today, and probably don't like hearing that, but it just shows how many things need to be fixed with this team. And I think that just really reinforces the fact that David Tepper, as a new owner, he's going to come in there and he's going to make some big changes. He's going to make changes because he's on the verge of just making his billion-dollar purchase. Last year had a losing record. Now, the team has never had back-to-back losing records, but it seems like we're about to have, for the first time in franchise history, back-to-back losing records. Let me get to some of these comments here. Logan says, I'm a Redskins fan, but seriously, what are your thoughts for the loss of the Panthers? So I'm getting to that. Basically, our run defense is atrocious, and we're not stopping people. We're not stopping anybody. You had two running backs, which basically had 100 yards apiece, had insane averages, and there's a lot of excuses you can make, but it's not good. That's the bad part, and a lot of that comes to coaching, because I was about to say Carolina, but Washington clearly made adjustments to the game. You heard players talking about it. If you hadn't seen the video, check out my video yesterday, post-game recap. Curtis Samuel said, they came out and they were giving them one-on-one matchups that Carolina could just exploit. And then they made changes. And that's what football is. You make changes. All right, these guys are beating our butts. Let's make some changes. And Redskins did. And our counter was nothing. I mean, we had like 8 consecutive punts and one interception on our next 9 drives. You're going to struggle to beat anybody in the NFL with that. Looking at some more of these comments here. Time for a team rebuild. Ron has made peace with the inevitable, unlike before when he would get all choked up. Yeah, I think yeah, I mean, you can't expect the guy to say, I'm going to get fired. That's just dumb to expect that, right? But if you want to see, I won't say if you want to see, but he just seems like he knows that he's in trouble. He's just going to try to make the best out of it. He's going to try to win some games. And one thing that he knows, I'm pretty sure, is that he wants to continue coaching. So he's going to continue to show that in adversity, I'm not giving up. I'm not just going to play all these young players and evaluate things. I'm trying to win. And I think a little bit of that could be in his mind saying, I need to audition for other teams. I can't just play these young guys for the next person to come here and evaluate some young talent because we might all be gone. We all need to win now and audition for the next team. And yeah, Fred's talking about how disappointed this team has been, feeling close to the 1-15 season. I mean, I'm gonna tell you guys, because I like to be real personal. I've made a lot of investments to do things to cover this team better than ever before. With all this live video, traveling to away games, et cetera, et cetera. And because I believe that this team was going to be really good this season. We had some acquisitions with Gerald McCoy, with Brian Burns, with oh man, I just lost the name. I've messed up this guy's name all year. Brian Burns was not an acquisition; he was a draft pick. And even just Brian Burns, he's just disappeared. And how does a guy disappear like that and then becomes a gunner? Fine, have him be a gunner. I mean, you got guys like James Bradbury with a lot of years' experience that are still on special teams, but you still use his talents on the defense, and you're not doing that. So, yeah, let me continue to move on. ICP saying we lost our leader, Cam Newton. So Cam Newton, I mean, Cam wasn't a perfect guy by any means. Cam certainly brings a lot of charisma to the team. And I feel like something that you have lost with having Cam out is some short yardage situations that we haven't, that we haven't been able to do. We've lost 4 games with these few yards to go, and I think Cam gives you an opportunity there. But you can't, I don't feel like he can. I know sports people just love to do what is. You can't say I want to have Kyle Allen and his better accuracy and reading, and then at the goal line, I want to have Cam Newton. And I know you guys we're going to continue to talk, but I'm going to get to comments that are being left here. Please continue to leave those comments. Super chats are welcome. I want to go to some more about Ron Rivera's press conference today, as he talked about quite a few things. What am I going to go to right now? Let's go to Ron talking about what it's like for him dealing with the loss. A few weeks ago, David Tepper's talked about not getting any sleep, and I feel like that guy definitely did not get any sleep after last night's game. You lost to a 2-9 team after starting the game off feeling pretty good. But let me go ahead and play this clip for you guys about Ron Rivera, again, talking about what it's like for him personally after a loss like the one last night. Give me just a second to get this ready for you guys.
It's the way it is because I feel responsible. The truth of the matter is every loss you take personal. I take personal because I feel like I let a lot of people down. So do I sleep well? No, I don't. Do I think about a lot of things? Absolutely. Do I know how I get to work in the morning after a loss? No. All I know is I got in the car, and next thing you know, I'm at the stadium. Every one of them grinds me, and that's just the way it is because I feel responsible.
I'm going to play that for you guys one more time because I think I started off a little slow. So let me go ahead and play this back one more time.
The truth of the matter is every loss you take personal. I take personal because I feel like I let a lot of people down. So do I sleep well? No, I don't. Do I think about a lot of things? Absolutely. Do I know how I get to work in the morning after a loss? No. All I know is I got in the car, and next thing you know, I'm at the stadium. Every one of them grinds me, and that's just the way it is because I feel responsible.
So here we go. So there's our guy. Hold on, I feel like I'm having some technical difficulties here. All right, I think we are completely back. I don't know if yeah, we're back. So there you have head coach Ron Rivera talking about what it's like for him after, I'm sorry, so I got distracted with looking at all these things here. But there you have Coach Ron Rivera talking about what it's like for him after a loss. And that's, for me, that's a little heartbreaking to see. You know, we want to see transparency in coaches and how they feel, but then it's like when you see something like that, you might not really want to see how coach. The guy had his head down. He says he don't even know how he makes it to work. He just knows that he got in his car and then he's at the stadium. So Ron Rivera is definitely, in my eyes, showing that knows, he absolutely knows that he's not in a positive situation. So, you know, hopefully this guy does have a job to do for the rest of the season. He still is employed, so you want to hope that he can, you know, he finds something to pick himself back up because he's a leader of this team as a coach, and then can cheer us on, can motivate these guys, can have some good game plans, and get it together. One thing that he's been good at is when his back is up against the wall, he can do well. That's where the riverboat run came from. But from what I just saw right there in the press conference, I'm like, whoa. I don't know how much this guy has in him to do what he needs to finish out this season, because that looked like a lot of defeat right there. Leave your comments below. Definitely want to know what you all think. And let's go to this last clip here. So Kyle Allen, you know, before I get into this question, let me put my graphic back up here for a second. I want to hear what you guys think about Kyle Allen. So I'm going to give you, I know there's a little bit of delay because this is live. Let me know right now in the comments what you think about Kyle Allen. Not should he start over Cam Newton, but just what do you think? Is he a good quarterback? Is he a bad quarterback? Is he a respectable quarterback? What do you guys think on Kyle Allen? I'm going to talk for just about another 20 seconds because I know there's a delay between when I talk and when you guys see it. But I want to give you all an opportunity. And let me go over to Twitter because, like I said, I forget to come here sometimes. So expired F3, I like the way you covered to me. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Hey, there's still player interviews and a lot of fun stuff that I'm going to do for the remainder of the season. I'm not giving up on bringing you guys a different perspective on covering this team and interacting with the players. So be sure to look out for that. And I'm just going to go through these a few times. Jason Leroy 72, first time I've actually heard him take some accountability and not just missed opportunities. Yeah, I mean, seriously, what do you think now when you hear a coach that seemingly admits and looks defeated? Is that really what you want to hear? It's almost like you might rather hear the missed opportunities, but he did take responsibility for that, and maybe he gets a different response from guys, knowing that maybe he gets a different response from his assistant coaches saying, man, this guy, you know, how can we build up to help him to finish out this season strong? And one more comment that I'm going to read from expired F3 is have to address the inability to get in the end zone from short yardage. Yeah, they have a lot of stuff to address, which I played that clip earlier showing a little bit about that. So let me go back, and I see I got a few comments on Kyle Allen. Kyle Allen is a good backup. So Miguel, you're saying that he's not a good starter. Okay. Fred McGee, he is not. I repeat, he is not the franchise quarterback. So Fred, I want to ask you this. I'm not saying like, is he the answer to the world? I just want to know, do you feel like he is a starting quarterback in the NFL? Not is he a franchise quarterback, because every quarterback on the team is not a franchise quarterback. But do you feel like he is a capable starting quarterback in the NFL? Neek, no, we're not gonna coddle on this channel. But I mean, I do go to be transparent about, you know, how I feel about things. Kyle is who we thought he was. He was undrafted for a reason, has happy feet, mediocre arm, butterfingers, can't play from behind. Okay, can't deny I don't like seeing Ron in the state. Real talk. That said, I do feel after the season he should be relieved of his duties. Tyler Styles, Kyle Allen has shown he has fighting spirit that most backups don't have. I think the season could be something that he learns from. All right. So some different comments there about Kyle Allen. So let me go ahead and play this clip that I have with Carolina Panthers, 4th down, didn't make it. Kyle Allen loses, I don't know, like 20 yards on the play. Let me go ahead and play Ron Rivera talking in detail today about that 4th down play by Kyle Allen. And give me a moment to get this up for you.
Like I said, the biggest thing that we said is that area that we're going to flood. Now, like I said, the biggest thing that we said is that we try to, I started to yesterday, we wanted to give him one area that we were going to flood. And on the backside, he had an individual route with DJ. He came out and looked at DJ quick first, and then he looked back inside, and I think he focused in on Curtis. And which you'd like to see him continue to work outside because he had Jarius. And again, you know, it's an option. You come up, you get a guy pressing on your best receiver, there's an opportunity to throw the fade. And I think that's initially what he thought. As far as where his first read goes, again, he comes to the line of scrimmage, he checks it over, and then he makes his decision from there. It's something obviously that Norv and Scotty will be talking with him about, and as far as decision making and as far as going through your progression and getting to where you need to be. But again, it was designed pretty well. He could have thrown the fade because DJ did end up with a step on him. When he came back, you know, Curtis actually ended up getting doubled for a second. Christian, you know, drew the attention that he drew, and then Jarius just wandered off into the flat open. And if he could have gotten to that read quick enough, he could have gotten the ball out.
That play. All right, so I'm back, and there you have Ron Rivera talking about that last play of the game, which is, if you sum it all up, our boy Kyle Allen did not make the proper decisions on that 4th down play that they would have liked for him to, and going through his progressions and his hot reads. And to me, I think everybody, I don't care how much expert or low-level football knowledge you have, you would have liked to have seen anything on that last play other than this guy running backwards for 20 yards and seemingly just kind of letting the ball fall out of his hands, at least try to flip up some kind of helmet, something. And none of that happened. And, you know, when you see that, here's something, in my opinion, to keep in mind. Kyle Allen is still a rookie. And he's going to have rookie mistakes. So that's why I personally go to give him some concessions saying, yeah, you like to see him play perfect. You like to see him come out and have an MVP year. But how many quarterbacks do? There's a learning curve for quarterbacks. They're extremely highly paid for a reason. This guy's a rookie. He doesn't have the experience. Rivera talks about needing 5,000 snaps to get to that point. And Kyle Allen didn't do it. He did not do it. He fell short of his responsibilities. But you could also say this. Could the coaches have given him a better opportunity? Not have to have so many reads? Who knows? But that's something to consider. So going to some of the comments here, I feel he has potential, maybe a start if he can learn to improve. Yeah, I'm not saying that Kyle Allen is a franchise quarterback, but I feel like he is okay. He's fine. He's not the worst thing that can happen. He's certainly not like I can't think of that quarterback. Oh, he's not terrible. He's making rookie mistakes. It's a little bit of a learning curve that we got thrown into after having a guy with 7-8 years experience in Cam Newton. Will Greer will not see any action unless Kyle just has back-to-back 4 interception games. Rivera has alluded to that all season. And he even mentioned today that part of the thing is, with both of these guys being young, Will Greer, Kyle Allen, you need to have reps to get the experience. And you can't properly evaluate one guy if you're taking him out of opportunity to get reps and see what all he can do, because then you're plugging another guy. Both these guys are young, so that's why I got rid of Taylor. Taylor had been on our team, and he had enough tape on him to really know where his ceiling was. He had the snaps. He had all the experience. You've seen him in practice year after year. So they felt like they had better potential than these two guys here, Greer and Allen. And of those two, you got to pick one to develop. You can't develop them both at the same time. So that's where we are with the Will Greer situation. Someone says a rookie with not enough college experience at that. Yeah, Jimmy Clausen. Yeah, that's the other quarterback that I was thinking about. Yeah, the other thing about Allen is that he didn't even finish his college career. He came out kind of early. So he's still a very, very young guy who's, you're going to ride those ups and downs with him, but you can't look at overall Kyle as an issue with this team. 250-something odd yards. Rushing is a huge problem. A huge problem. You know, you want to get any young quarterback, you want them playing ahead. You don't want them playing when they're down. You don't want them playing when they have to get in these situations where everybody knows what they're doing, because now they don't have the mind to evaluate all this stuff as quickly as a professional quarterback needs to. When you play ahead, you can do things where they don't have to have that. I'm about to go off on this tangent, but I love this team. It's definitely going to be a different looking team next year, and you just want to see some good performances out of these guys for the rest of the season. Let me go back over to YouTube as well, as I'm trying to switch back and forth. Make sure I answer everybody's questions. And let's see. That was all that I had that I want to share with you guys. And here's a quick plug. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscription button. If you hadn't hit the like button, please do, because that helps people find out about me. I know somebody said the super chat wasn't working. I'm an independent media, so anytime you guys do super chats, $1 donation, it does help me cover this team, because it's been quite a chore. But I have an online store that's going to be opening so you guys can buy merchandise to help support. There's going to be another video probably tonight that I'm going to do about that. I think you all will like it and have a lot of fun with it. So let me go back to some of these comments, because we got a lot. And, I can't be mad at the people if I don't go back and go through these comments, and then I'm going to get out of here. Need to go to Lowe's and buy a ladder. Got to put up my Christmas tree lights. I do that every year. Anyway, let's stay focused. Let me get back to my last comment. Fred McGee is saying Tepper has made it known he's gone, but we'll allow him to finish the season. I think that's rumor talk. I feel like it's true, but I think that's rumor talk. We don't have any dogs on the team no more. I feel like we still have those dogs on the team, but they just hadn't been unleashed. They haven't been given the opportunities to be those dogs. And that's what you're seeing. You have talent, you have talent, and it's not being realized. I like that comment though, Neek. Fred McGee, Rivera knows he cannot come in there mean and standoffish. He's interviewing for the next landing place right now. I agree. He's interviewing for the next place. Saying the season of disappointment is beyond an understatement. Hey, y'all don't know how, like in our business, this is me just kind of relating to how pissed off David Tepper is right now. It's all a business for everybody that's in football, for the media companies, for the team owner, right? And I'm the owner of Charlotte Vibe. And I know, like, when the team is losing, it hurts everybody, because people stop watching. People stop watching. You're going to start making less room. And I'm pissed that they're losing, because I know it's going to be that much harder for me to succeed, because just interest goes down. You can see it in the stands. People come less, or fewer people come. But anyway, I'm not talking about my personal upsetness. Reading through some old comments here. How can Bill Belichick get a no name off the street and make them a good player and we can't? Ali, here's the thing about Bill Belichick, and I really hope that everybody can agree to this. I just don't know how you cannot. I don't care what you say about him. You got to say that he's the greatest coach of all time, because he is the only person that can take anything and make it great. I won't say take anything, but he knows exactly what piece to take that may look like crap, may look like washed up, may look like nothing to all these other teams and scouts. And he knows exactly how to maximize them within his scheme. Everybody can't be a Bill Belichick by far, which is why he is as great and as phenomenal as he is. You look at Sean McVay, I hope I said his name right, coaching of the LA Rams. He had those seasons, was it 2 or 3 great seasons, 2 great seasons, and now he's in a slump. It's hard. And then just from a coaching standpoint, to kind of give another nod to why Bill Belichick is so great, a lot of times players just get worn out from listening to one coach, no matter how good they are. So it's like everybody just needs to change an environment for that refreshness to kick in, for that novelty to wear off, and for them to get a new opportunity. Keep on going, Chris. Keep on going. I feel like I'm on my pedestal tonight, or I don't know what it's called. I'm just rambling. Am I rambling, y'all? Anyway, let me keep going. Fred, this is the second game you left in the third quarter. It's depressing. Neek, I think TD's absence has made mutual accountability on defense non-existent. Those first 2 Ds were offensive scripted plays because after that it was blah. Brandon Ludwig, remember losing back-to-back season franchise history? That was 2011, 2012 under Ron Rivera. I think we had an 8-8 season or something there. It was some kind of caveat to that, but I hear you. He's in my opinion, he's definitely on his way out the door. Ron Rivera and Herney, I got the moving company plug. You all gonna need it. You know, one thing I feel though, I feel like Marty Herney did not do a bad job. Marty Herney, we worked some contracts, got some players to sign that you didn't see coming. I really feel like Marty Herney could be just a casualty of war in this case because he's with Ron Rivera and it's just, Tepper may just want everything new. But I still feel like in Tepper making a lot of changes, he has to have somebody that's existing with some football knowledge that he brings in and he can rely on. I don't know if he has already made contacts where he feels good about a GM or president of operations, because he just now got into this field that he can bring in and say, okay, I trust you, now build your team. I don't feel like Tepper's the guy that has that football knowledge to say, everybody's out, now all these people come in. That's my 2 cents. Shake and bake, Ron Vera Herney. Oh, I already read that comment. Fred McGee can't get that super chat to work. So Fred, here's what you can do. There are links in the description where you can Cash App, where you can PayPal, or where you can go to our GoFundMe and send your boy a few dollars so I can help, continue to do what I do and cover this team for you guys. The defense gave up in the end. I did feel like there was a lot of giving up on this team. I saw Shaq Thompson miss a tackle. Man, I don't think it was a touchdown. I think it was a play. It was a touchdown, but then it was reversed to being out at the half. I think Brad there was able to push him out. And just seeing guys make those mistakes, I think is just indicative of just the whole, I'm at a loss of words here, you all, but it's just this whole damn coming like, I had this mentality, like, I don't care what you got, like, we're going to play good, but then I think it's just like so many bad things were going on, it just became contagious. And you saw players like Christian McCaffrey, who hasn't dropped anything that comes near his fingers in over a year, dropped 3 passes yesterday. And I feel like that's just the mental wear down of things being messed up that's affecting guys that have otherwise just been stellar. And you need something new when that happens. If you see guys making mistakes like that never do, and it comes like contagious, like, what is that guy? You got to make some big changes. All right, let me run through these comments. I'm sorry. But I'm not happy that we're losing like this. Just trying to skim through some of the comments that I already read. What's up, Chris Johnson? Kyle as a backup, says Kenneth. I'm not taking him over Newton, though. Kyle Allen's good if you want an 8-18. He's good one week, terrible the next week. But I feel like he's going to develop. He's very young. Very young. Chris, you have to admit the energy is completely gone at the stadium. Yeah, the energy's gone. Mr. Evans, what's going on? I'm so tired of these goal line last second stall outs every time we get a potential epic comeback. Yeah, and this is why you're going to see change because if you're able to get that close so many times, you obviously have the potential to reach the goal. The goal being goal line, the goal being winning games. So you obviously have the ability to do so, but you can't figure out one piece. You got to get some new people in there. First and goal means nothing. On tap, there's my man, God of Blackness. I vote Ron stays the end of the season. I think he's going to stay the end of the season. Do you think we should fire Hurney now so we can start reloading the front office? I just made some comments on that, God of Blackness, so I don't know if you want to type another comment there. The Redskins signed a guy 2 days before the game, and he had a couple sacks yesterday. So, yeah, again, bringing you all behind-the-scenes information, which I love to do to give you a different perspective on covering a team and what people are thinking. We were in the media room before Ron Rivera come out. So what happens a lot of times is at these games, there's only one elevator to get down from like the press area. And they block it off so coaches and team owners can go down, which means basically media is stuck either, 2 minutes after the game or you go down early. So I went down early yesterday because I wanted to be in the press conference for Ron Rivera. And we're down there and somebody's trying to write their notes and say, hey, who's that guy that made the tackle? And somebody's like, yeah, I don't know who he is. Half these guys that are sacking Kyle Allen, I can't even find them on the roster. And somebody's like, oh, yeah, these guys just found off the street the other day. So the media people are like scrambling to figure out who people are that are sacking Kyle Allen. Yeah, they brought guys in off the street, essentially, and had good games. And that's just bad. bad. We went 7-8-1, 2014, but we made the playoffs. There you go. There's that caveat of that, the badness. Dante Jackson is becoming a huge disappointment, says Miguel. I haven't looked closely at Dante, but I know Dante has been struggling. He's that high-risk, high-reward guy, and I haven't watched him closely to have a dedicated opinion on him. But there could be some truth to what you're saying about him becoming a disappointment. What's up, Reggie Hopkins? Trill, we were 9-7 in 2012. That's not a losing season. All right, so I don't have all that. But there you have it. My day after thoughts, Carolina Panthers versus the Washington Redskins. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Appreciate everybody for staying on as long as you have. If you're watching the broadcast, appreciate you tuning in. Let me finish up. Let me go back to Twitter because I forgot there were some comments there. So let me get these in and I'm going to sign off. How do you feel about Ron's comment regarding younger talent and give those players a chance? Well, Ron said that he's already played many of the younger guys that he feels like has a potential and would deserve some playing time. So his comments there says, hey, I'm not going to just start getting all these young guys in to evaluate talent. And I also feel like he's not going to do that because he's still trying to win. I feel like he knows that he's going to be on his way out and that he's auditioning for other teams and he needs to win. If he just loses them all out, it doesn't benefit him any if he's going to be out and all these other staff and coaches and scouts are going to be out. So I believe there's very little benefit for him to play those young guys because that's something that you could do when you know the owner's going to invite you back. You're not worried about your record when you're out there resume shopping for a new job. But right now you're worried about it and you want to see that happen. With Cam, Iard, Khalil, TD, Pep gone, Greg possibly too, who are the leaders on this team? As I take a drink from my orange juice to think about that, yeah, a lot of our leaders are hurt. You got Cam Newton, you have Kawan Short. Oh man, I can't rattle off all the guys right now, but you do have, there's just going to be a lot of change. To answer your question, there's going to be a lot of change because there's not a lot of leaders that are on this team right now. Some of the veterans that we have that came in are new to the team, and they've kind of been stepping up. But you got to look at, Luke Kuechly as a leader, obviously on the defensive side. But I feel like it's I feel like right now it's hard to have a leader rise up because it's kind of the coaching is what's struggling. I feel like you got players that are executing things that they're not happy about. To be honest with you, I really feel strongly like that about some players. Just from me being a media reporter around this team, I feel like that's happening, which probably isn't shocking considering how poorly they've been playing, how frustrating it can be for some of those guys. Rumor: Pittsburgh GM is coming available. Shaq got stiff armed by Geis. I hope I'm saying his name right. The Redskins running back. I feel like Ron is stale as coach with the Panthers, like Andy Reid when he left Philly. Yeah, I touched on that. I feel like one challenge for a coach, regardless of how good he is just becoming stale. Just, players not responding because he's just been there forever. And that in itself just causes turnover in coaching world. Like, hey, you've been here forever. I've heard the same thing before. I'm not motivated by what you're saying. I've heard it before. So that could be part of the issue. But I will say the bigger issue is that Ron Rivera not making the proper decisions to put this team in a great position to win. Jason saying they're not even playing for his job like they've done before. I wouldn't disagree with that. That's not a bad statement at all. All right, so Reed want to go. Hey, Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe, credential media member of Charlotte Vibe, covering the Carolina Panthers. I didn't say that correctly, but you guys know what I meant. Thank you all for watching. I will be back soon. Keep pounding, keep hope. Thanks for the support, and enjoy the evening.